Well, are you like me and you have fishing rods everywhere, all over the house, in the laundry room, in the garage, and in the living room, the spare room, the bedroom, the truck? There's just fishing rods everywhere. Well, we're going to try to fix that today. We're going to build a PVC rod holder and get this stuff all consolidated into one spot. And hit that subscribe and like button, and that'd be greatly appreciated. Alright, picked up a few parts to build the rod holder here. They didn't have any crosses. I had a couple different designs in mind. So this is what we come up. We're going to do it down and dirty with some T's. And I got a 10-foot stick of pipe, 1 1/4. 1 1/4 is about the diameter of my rod holder butt, so of my largest one, so that should be sufficient. The first thing we need to do is we need to get a table set up here so that we're not bent over, breaking our back trying to work. Set up. We gotta just grab our parts, throw them on the table, and maybe grab a pen so we can draw a few things out. Right, here we go. Alright, so we got our parts laid out, we got a tape measure, we got a marker and a pen, and a receipt that doesn't go with it. So let's get everything in order here. So I got the T's. I figured the rod butts will fit in here. The largest OD rod butt I have fits into the ID of this 1 1/4. I might have one bigger, but we can always change that later if we want to. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 8 T's and we got 2 T reducers. And what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to go ahead and sink my 1-inch pipe in here and stick one up, and this will hold my surf rod holders that I poke into the beach. So the plan is I'll just stick a 1-inch piece of PVC in here, and then this can just ride on here in between the poles, and it gets it out of the corner and gets everything organized. So what we basically have, this will come in a minute. Let's put that away. So what we basically have is we got to get our nipple length off our pipe, and I think it's 1.5 inches. Let's see, it's 1 1/4 inches. So our pipe sections need to be 1 1/4 inches or 2.5 inches to meet up each one of these guys. But we're going to want a little bit of distance in here. So, well, we don't. The only reason why we need distance in here is for the reels to offset, because some reels will bump the other reels and they won't fit. But I think with the distance between the T's will be okay. But we're going to build this to where we can rebuild it anytime we want. What we're going to do is we're going to take some tape. Instead of gluing the seams, we're just going to tape them. I don't really care what it looks like. It's for my rod holders. And then that just keeps it from willy-nilly coming apart. You could glue it, but then you're stuck with that forever. Or you can even put screws in it there you want to. Drill you a little pilot hole and drop your screw in there, and that will hold them too. And that just keeps it from, if you have to move your rod holder around, you don't jerk it apart. That's all I'm looking for under this application. And we're going to use a Sawzall to cut our pipe with. So now we need to figure out what length. Overall length, so the first one is going to have to be, the first one's the base. The second one is just willy-nilly, and we're going to stick one of these in between each of them, I think is what we're going to do. Kind of wish these were shorter. I guess we could cut them down if we wanted to, but I'm not that adventurous today. So let's see. So we know we need 2.5 inches, right? an inch and a quarter is 2.5 inches. So we're gonna go with 3 inches. So we'll have a 1/2 inch left over just because we can. So let's get started on that. Let's just, let's start marking this out. And I think I'm going to get a couple blocks just to put this on, just so I'm not cutting into my plywood. Alright, here we go. Okay, so here we go. And I put a ladder on that side to run my pipe through. It's a 10-inch stick of pipe that I got from Home Depot. All right, so we got our 3 inches here. Let's get the cutting. Oop, it's ready to cut, isn't it? And I don't cut the straightest in the world, so go ahead and light up the comment section. I've been cutting pipe for 20 years and I still can't cut a straight piece. Imagine that. All right, so here we go. First piece is coming together. There we go. All right. Oh, what I needed to do though was this. Because this is the leg. And then this will keep them all straight. So there we go. That's our first rod holder. So we're just gonna keep cutting and putting together. So we had 6, so we need 4. We have 2 for our stands, two T's for our stands, and then we have 2 T's for our or 4 T's for our rod holders. All right, so let's go ahead and get these cut and see what we come up with. I had another idea too, is but what it'll do, it'll take away from the you got to worry about your sealing. You always got to worry about the tips of the rod holders, and so as you're putting the rod in and out of this pipe, because this pipe's going to stick up about that high or whatever we decide, so you got to lift your pole up that high and then stick it in there. So you're going to be fighting the sealing. We don't want to do that. The most vulnerable part on the fishing rod is the rod tip, as we're constantly hitting bridges with them, or I am anyway, or car doors, or ceilings, or whatever, the wall, whatever you're not paying attention to. The rod tip is bound and determined going to find it. So we absolutely have to make sure that we can make everything at least robber proof, stupid proof I call it, so that we can prevent that. So let's cut a bunch of these up and see where we go. So we have 3 more cut. And let's put them together. I want to put one of these here, like this, like so, so that this can go here, and then the fishing rod can go here. And so that should give me plenty of space for my reel. Look, I can put one of my offshore reels on this one. Let's go. Clean these up a little bit here. Clean them all up real quick. Slap them in there. Boop. Yeah. Ooh-wee. Rock and rolling now, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. You know, another thing you could do if you wanted to, you can come out this way. Come out this way. And then you could throw a 90 if you wanted to make a box. Then you could throw a 90 in here and come down this way, and again, yeah, and then again, you can come out with a 90 on this end, and so you could add that many more rod holders, which we're going to be able to do in the future. Because remember, like I said, this is just, I'm going to set it up to where it'll be buildable. And dadgummit, there's a guy mowing the lawn. So, all right, lawn guys are gone. We got our other nipples cut. Plane already flew overhead. All right, let's finish putting this puppy together. Clean these nipples off. And, you know, you can make it as long as you want, but you got to remember you're going to be this far away, which is what, 6 inches away from the wall, or 6 inches. Yeah, it's about 6 inches. See how close I was. Yeah, 6 inches away from the wall. Alrighty, and then that's the outside. So we need one more nipple, which we have right here. Get her all cleaned up. Whew. There we go. Let's see, we're well on our way here. Last nipple. So I have one other, I bought a rod holder off of Marketplace there. Oh, I did that the wrong way. That's not how I want it. And it was made out of wood. It was a homemade guy. It was only $5, so I thought, well, shoot, let's give it a try. And when they put the slat on the bottom that the butts go up against, it wasn't tilted right, so the rods kept wanting to fall forward. So we might try to adjust and fix that here. All right. Put this on the wrong way. Although I could leave it on like that if I wanted to. But I don't think at this point it really matters. All right, let's see. The biggest thing is making sure everything's nice and straight. And of course, there's a bow in the wood I'm using, so that doesn't help much. Oh, wait a minute, hold the phone. We still have a couple more here, ladies and gentlemen. We still have a couple more. Or we could just leave it like that. Nah, because then that sticks one out. Stick one out. We'll stick one out. So put this one like this. There we go. Now like this. You guys have Legos when you were a kid? Or remember those Lincoln building blocks? Yeah. I was a guy always trying to put the square peg in the round hole. That was me. And you can see I'm still doing it. Alright, so there we go. But I wanted this here. But I actually have 3 beach holders. So I'll need to get another one of those. But let's see how we did here. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an average length on my butt holders. Because I don't think I want the reel sitting on the edge. If I get to have the butt sitting on the bottom of the tee to give it the weight, that would be good. Because I want to try to keep the inner diameter from denting the handles on the rod holders, the butts, whether it be the foam or the cork or whatever particular material yours might be made out of. But this is good. This is going to get my stuff off the ground or off the wall from getting kicked or knocked over or being in the way, because they are absolutely everywhere, as you can see right here. They're everywhere. So we need to get a handle on this. All right, so let's cut. What we're going to do now is we're going to go grab a measurement off our butts, and we'll get a rough idea on where we want to cut our riser pipes. So here's my longest butt. Or thickest, I should say, which is going to be just right. I want to see something real quick all day long. So those are 12 inches, so we could probably get away with, let's try, got 8 inches on that. Let's see if we could do 8 inches, because remember, you need 8-inch clearance we're gonna knock that down. We're gonna knock that down to 5 inches. We're gonna knock that down to 5 inches, I think, and just see how it sits in there. And then this is my smallest rod, the thinnest rod so far, and that's running about 10 inches. So 8 inches is gonna be enough. And we got plenty of the ID room there, so, all right. Woo! Here it is wintertime already, or fall, and I'm still leaking. At least it's not humid today out here on the west coast of Florida. I would turn the fan on, but that'd be more competition. All right, so we want to go with a piece that's 6 inches. You know, if you put see how there's a screw in there? If you put another screw in here, it'll help your pipe from sliding back and forth just because you can, right? So we're gonna come off here with some 6 inches, and we'll try one, and then we'll put every rod in there and see how that works. We don't have to waste a bunch of pipe. I have it in all this material. I have about $52. I did see one online for $52. It was one of the circle ones that goes, and it's got the little clamps on it. And you can also buy the ones that clamp on the wall, but this I can move around, you know, and it's not permanent. So let's cut this real quick. Now this is just schedule 120, the least expensive pipe they have. All right, actually we're gonna cut 2. That might be a little high, but we can cut that down. Let's not cut 2, let's start with that. So let's put this on the floor and put a couple rods in there and see how we did. All right, here we go. See if we can do this without hitting the ceiling of the garage door. Boom, let's see how that works. I think that's gonna work just fine. So we always turn them to keep the reels from hitting if we have to. There we go. So that'll work. So now we just need to get some stabilizers on the T's to help hold it up. And we're golden. Woohoo! All right, let's do that real quick. How do you like that, huh? Put that in there like that. So there's that one. You can cut it a little shorter. It's got a little keeper in there, so they can't go too far in the sand, I reckon. I guess that's why. Okay, let's put one of our outriggers on here. Then we're gonna put one on the other side just to keep it from flopping back and forth. What'd y'all do with the rest? Oh, I put them in there. All right, so let's do this. There we go. Okay. That should be it. So that should be enough for, that should be enough for 6 rods right there, huh? What do you think? We got our feet on there. Get my feet out of there. All right. I'm gonna take this one out. Oh, I got it in there, okay. Let's put some rods in here and see how we did. Look up. So you definitely don't want to put a surf rod in here because you know that Okay, so I'm gonna put another outrigger here to keep this flat, but the T is bigger than the OD of the T is bigger than the pipe, so there's gonna be a little wobble in there, but that ain't no big deal. Huh? What do you think? All right. Like I said, we can always adjust them later, right? Let's just go with that for now, since I got the tool out. I'm going to put this one in right now to help me stabilize my rod holder. Well, that works. All right, we're going to cut this bad boy in half. Because we can. We got 16, we'll cut her at 8. At least we look like we know what we're doing, right? There we go. Straighten everything out. There we go. Shoot, I should sell these things, huh? How many people want me to build you one of these? I'll make it a put together kit. How about that? I'll put little numbers on there with arrows. Make it simple for guys like me. All right, let's go ahead and get everything taped up, and then we'll put it in place, fill her up, and see how we did. Let me get the table back over here. Be right back. Thirsty, hot out here today. That camera gets hot. So, let's go. So our overall length, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be 46.5 inches. So that's not bad, huh? Won't take up too much room for 4 rods. We're just shy of 4 feet. Yeah, 2 inches shy of 4 feet. All right, let's tape this puppy up and see what we got. Get something to make life a little easier here. These are the best cutting scissors on the planet. We use these on the fire department. They'll cut leather. They even cut metal. They'll cut a penny. That's why they call them penny shears. Anyway, we're going to take that. We're going to cut this here like this. Now we got a nice clean cut. Let's go ahead and put the first one on, since we can. If it works the way it's going to go like this, and it'll sit in here, and then we'll be able to, hopefully it'll be straight. Nope, it's not going to be straight. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with oil. See, this is something simple and easy. Go down to your local hardware store, buy a 10-foot piece of pipe. That shouldn't go anywhere now. I mean, it'll move, but the tape should hold it from spinning and falling over. That's all I want to do, is keep it from falling over. Worst case scenario, we can come back later and throw some glue in there. All right, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of tape. There's the finished product. Ain't the prettiest thing in the world, but we're going for effect. We're not going for looks. And I think it's going to be plenty effect. It's a little purple, but you put a shim under it, being straight. Who's looking at it, right? All right, let's put it on the ground, throw some rods on it, and see what we got. We should be there. And there we go, the finished product. This is not too bad. Could use smaller pipes for the light rods, and I could use about 15 more holes, but we could do that later. I just wanted to see how this was going to work out, and I think it worked out pretty good. I am going to have to glue those, they move around too much. And then I had to put a little bit of a kicker under there to make them straight, but I can live with that. I'm happy with that. All right, so parts list: bunch of tees, piece of pipe, and some tape, and you're there. Oh, but then you're gonna have tools. You need a saw and some scissors. Easy peasy. All right, let's go fishing now.